What is an odd behavior of yours you think only you do? I have noticed I often sniff when I enter a room so I don't scare people by just talking out of nowhere. Your friends probably think you've got a crippling cocaine habit. In the shower, I slowly rotate to keep myself evenly warm. I do it unconsciously now. Like a rotisserie chicken. According to this highly unscientific poll, 6% of people do this. Does this same number correlate with how you sleep? I fall asleep on my back and constantly rotate like a sausage. Bed idea: padded rollers that are warmed or cooled spin me like a 7 to 11 hot dog. I have hyperhidrosis, fancy word for sweating a lot, and my t-shirts are constantly sticking to my armpits. To unstick them, I just lift my elbows up and down a time or 3. Basically, I flap my arms like a chicken. Most of the time, I don't even realize I'm doing it. Imagine having a conversation with someone you have never met and they randomly start flapping like a chicken out of the blue and act like nothing just happened with no explanation. Edit: now I know the meaning of RIP inbox. I don't have time to read through all of your comments today, but for everyone giving advice and suggestions, thank you. Also, thanks for the awards. I'm ducking dying at this image. I love it. It's poultry in motion. Talking to myself in gibberish when I'm doing something as though I were explaining what I'm doing. I imagined a guy doing the dishes and talking like someone from The Sims. Laughed my ass off. Sul sul. Sinchi wani do. I throw up gang signs at my dog. Don't know why it started, but I get a laugh out of it and my dog just likes the attention. Edit: while this blew up, my dog says what's bracken blood. Every time I bend over to pick something up, I pretend I just unknowingly dodged a bullet from some faraway sniper trying to take me out. Sometimes I shoot fingers guns for no reason. Stop dodging. If I accidentally hit my head or something when I was little, I'd pretend to be knocked out for at least 10 minutes on the floor and then slowly get up when I'd realize nobody was going to indulge my dramatic ass. Drama queen. I walk fast. When it's a crowded place, I use hand gestures whenever another person gets in my way to tell them where I will go, like I point to the left and they automatically move to the right without any awkwardness. It works more often than I expected. People tend to follow such unexpected gestures unconsciously. Fellow fast walker. When I walk down a crowded street, I pretend as though I'm returning a kick in American football, scanning ahead for creases, sidestepping into space, using people walking ahead of me to set up blocks. I might need to start adding touchdown celebrations at the end of the street. Growing up in NYC, I used to pretend I was Luke Skywalker on a speeder bike and I'd sidestep and juke down a crowded sidewalk pretending it was the forest moon of Endor while walking to school almost every morning. This old guy sitting on a stoop once called me Walter Payton and I asked if he was a Jedi. I blow on my ice cream. 2. Cool it off? I'm not really sure. I wasn't even aware I was doing something weird until my GF noticed and said, "You know that's not hot, right?" By doing this, you're warming it up. Just before I'm about to write, sometimes I'll do this little circle thing in the air above the paper, like I'm revving the pen up before I use it. Edit: this is by far the most replies I've ever gotten on a single comment. Safe to say I'm not the only one. Lol. Also shout out to Udevius Merblon for telling me the name of this little practice. Ins, https://n.am.wikipedia.org Wikians. I am here to say, duck, yeah, I'm not the only one. Same dude. I rub the tip of my nose and after a while it starts to feel really nice and I get a mild sensation not unlike an orgasm. So now I've been rubbing my nose for longer than I'd like to admit. Yeah, me too. Nothing happening though. Shake my butt when I'm lying in bed. Hey, you should meet my roommate. I wake up every morning to him just fast asleep but vigorously shaking his butt. My boyfriend clenches and unclenches his butt whilst he sleeps so he shakes the bed. When at the library or bookstore, I sometime open a book I know I will read at some point, but not right now and read a random line at a random page. Then, maybe years later I will read the book and when I get to that line that I have forgotten all about and get the most powerful feeling of déjà vu. I will remember what the world felt like, smelt like, the sensations and feelings I had while reading that line. It's like little gifts of memories to future me floating around in various books. I tap every time a dash line goes past the car. It's like a perpetual game of Guitar Hero. Yay, but do you use the invisible saw extending from your finger to cut down telephone poles when you're in the passenger seat? Mine's a laser beam. Mine's a broadsword that cuts everything down. Mine's a little stick dude that parkours next to the car. My stick dude is a sick skateboarder who grinds on the highway rails and jumps over oncoming traffic, one car at a time. I make a valley out of pillows and blankets and sleep in the middle so I can koala hug something while laying on either side. Edit. Thank you all for the awards and attention. I absolutely love the wholesome conversations about pets and pillows that unfolds below. I call it building a nest, but same idea. It's the most amazing way to sleep. I miss my nest when I travel. Edit. For those of you suggesting that I just request extra pillows, you have totally missed the point. I miss my nest when I travel. There may be others like it, but nothing comes close to the comfort of the authentic nest. I need a heavy pillow at the foot of my bed every time I travel. To simulate the 15-pound cat that's usually there. I wiggle my right foot really fast when I'm falling asleep. Never be lonely anymore. I have found my sisters and brothers. I once slept next to a guy that did this while I was already asleep. It woke me up. I thought he was jerking off next to me. It was really disturbing. But then I quickly explained that I was just wiggling my foot. Which obviously I was. There's no reason for you not to accept that explanation, because it's true. It's so silly that we're even talking about this. Really, this is boring, let's just change the subject. Sometimes when I get bored, I explain modern things to Benjamin Franklin. Music I listen to, or how my phone works, etc. Sometimes I go even further back and explain it to Socrates or a caveman. Sometimes it's philosophical, sometimes it's just stupid. I don't know why I do it, but it's very entertaining. Edit. Well, this isn't that strange, a lot of people do it, and many of them specifically choose Benjamin Franklin as their time traveler of choice. I used to do something like that on car trips, only I'd pick a time period and imagine what a philosopher, monk or otherwise educated person from that era would be able to figure out about what I was seeing. Sometimes I wonder if there's actually people who can see into your mind, so I start thinking about really interesting things, so if there is, they won't think I'm boring. I scream as loud as I can, mentally, and think of really ducked up shit. If they look uncomfortable after that, I then know that they can. I'll sometimes do the Homer Simpson bit. I know you can read my thoughts, boy, meow 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 meow, and if there's no reaction I feel safer, haha. I make sure to make a splash noise when I pee to make sure I'm not sleeping and pissing the bed. Has it ever saved your bed from smelling like pee? That's the hard part, I haven't pissed my bed since I started it, but correlation does not equal causation. Also be careful. Something you do ritually in daily life can occur in your dreams. Sometimes when I'm listening to music I play a game where I tap my fingers to the syllables. If the sentence ends at the pinky or the thumb I win, if not I must continue until it ends up at one of them. Habit that I've had since childhood, I play with my ears, especially when they're cold. I fold them and scrunch them and can fit them into the ear canal until they unfold and pop back into form. Edit. Ear ye. Ear ye. Obligatory exaltations of gratitude and thanksgiving to the kindness of the anonymous fellow ears absent-mindedly scrunched and stuffed into the canal stuffer shredditors for the heretofore elusive golden and silvery goodness. Shout out to all of my brother and sister weirdos and the ear folder subreddit created for us oral aberrations of the humankind. I had no idea I was not alone. Cheers. Finally, one that I can relate to.